Yep. Whoa! Here he comes. Yeah. Isn't it funny how a day pans out? G'day, I'm Gavin Hurley and welcome to another episode of On the Fly. I'm here with my mate Al and we're going to fish Highland trout lakes just near Ballarat, and it's a private fishery that's got about 3 or 4 lakes, Al, that are stocked with browns and rainbows, so it should be quite good.
Hopefully we can get to them today and show you what the basics of fly fishing is all about, especially in lakes and impoundments. We're looking to use some of the maybe bigger flies, woolly buggers also during the day, and hopefully we can hook up.
Yeah, and show you what it can be like, some lake fishing around the Ballarat area.
In overcast and challenging conditions, Gavin Alec made the short drive out to Highland Lakes with good friend and fellow fly fisherman Steve Davies.
Now it pays when you're fishing lakes that you don't just go there and just blind flog it, particularly when you've got a little dry and a nymph, so we're going to try and sight fish. So you've got to move slowly. Sometimes they're hard to see, particularly without much sun. So if you can just walk along the edge pretty quietly and look for any movement, there might be a rise or a tail, or sometimes you'll see the whole fish, and then put a cast right in front of it. Sometimes you might need to go a little bit further, so like a couple of metres, and it'll find it as it's moving along, or other times you might need to land right on its nose. It varies from day to day, so try one, and once that works, keep doing it. Here we go, a couple of fish just reaching along there. I can just see them under the surface, in and out of the glare. So, oh, here he goes. He's going right underneath my fly now. I've got a little nymph underneath that hopefully he'll take. It's right underneath it. Give it a twitch. Sometimes that can stimulate him to think that it's getting away. And sometimes not. Oh, it was he's just swapped to a woolly bugger, and there was a bit of a boil, funny enough, straight behind it, first cast, and a little bit of a tap. It's been a little slow going, and I think it's probably it's a little bit cold, the weather, so the fish are a little, I suppose, more dormant and not as aggressive as normal. So we thought we'd just put something on to give them a bit of a hurry up. So it's a woolly bugger, and you strip that quite quickly. I'll show you a little bit in depth, a little bit closer, but you imitate like a little bait fish or a yabby or a mud-eye, just something getting away, and they've got to make a faster reaction to it. So it's best if there's a rise, you certainly just cast to that. If there's not, or you just work in a fan system, and so you'll start off out here and then just work your way all the way along. So you're going to cover a lot of area. So you do your cast, let that fly sink a bit, it's got a bit of weight, and then strip it back in. Here he goes, right to it. Oh, we went in a hurry to it. That was urgent. I could see him just cruising, and a little, like a tweak on the line, and it probably just moves that fly a little bit. And they'll I guess to a fish, they'll see that as an emerging insect. They've got to come and grab it. And he got there, and it just wasn't something quite right. So it's probably worth, if you have a couple of rejections, to come over and look at it, and don't eat it, change that fly. Perhaps go to something a little smaller, or a little different, and that can be the difference.
After a slow start in the cool morning conditions, persistence paid, as it often does, in the form of a great little rainbow.
He smacked that just right in the side of the mouth there. So I just love that woolly bugger, something a bit different. Created a little bit more aggression out of him, a little bit more urgency. Just a lovely little rainbow there. There'll be plenty of life left in him. Yep, and off he goes. So that's what's going to happen when you're fishing a woolly bugger, and every now and then it works straight away. So that's good. Give everything a try until you find something that's going to work, and that can hopefully bring you a few more fish. So the woolly bugger, never underrate it. Now it is important when you're fishing like woolly buggers and things like that, you've really got to impart the action on that fly. So you imitate like a little minnow that might dart, or like a yabby. You can imagine they dart backwards, or even a mud-eye propels along. So what we've got to do, once you've cast out, let it sink a little bit, and we've got to strip the line in maybe 20-30 centimetre strips. So bang, and we're doing it in short, sharp movements, and that will to the fish anyway, will make it think that it's perhaps injured, or that it knows it's there and it's trying to get away. It'll look like quite a natural sort of animal that doesn't want to get eaten, and that's what we've got to try and do. So vary your retrieve from 30 centimetre strips, even to short little 5 centimetre ones in between, big and slow. Have a pause, and you just need to alter it until you find something that's going to work. So just persist, and eventually the fish are going to get on the end of it. Yep, there you go. You feel that it's almost like a sense, or you feel a little tap just before the big one. I'm not sure whether they're whacking the tail of the fly or not, but and they give it a real munch. All around about the same size, all these fish have been getting. They're probably just about a pound or something, and rainbows, nice and aggressive. And since we've swapped to the woolly bugger type sort of fly, it's certainly our luck's changed. We've been hooking up to quite a few different fish. It's probably, I guess, been closer, or it's near about lunchtime now, where the fish have got probably a little bit more aggressive, which is almost like the warmest part of the day. So sometimes it pays. Normally we'll be here early in the morning or in the evening, but yeah, lovely little fish. And sometimes they become just a little bit lethargic in the quieter times, and a little bit more aggressive as the day gets on. So sometimes the warmest part of the days, particularly when you get closer to winter, it's going to be a lot better fishing. I'll show a little bit of that dirt off and get him back in. Plenty of life left in him. So we've still got to find that bigger one. So I'll keep trying.